it into our R&B to where the beautiful, soulful music that we used to sing that you heard from our R&B singers like Boyz II Men, those groups, so many other artists that we had that you guys can see here that just think about, if you're old enough, just think about the kind of music, the type of music that Silk and Shy and Jodeci even, Keith Sweat, High Five, Mint Condition, all these other, Joe and all these other singers who had beautiful songs, right? There's so many of them. Luther Vandross, all these guys. We just had so many soulful, good singers out there that sung, that you can hear their voice. Brian McKnight, these guys would, sit at the piano and play beautiful music. That is gone. That music is the music that touched your heart, made you emotional. They took that and infused it with hip hop. So the tone and everything has changed and switched up. So it's a beat to it that is not a soulful beat. It's a more hip hop beat. So now the tone to our once beautiful music has changed and has this remnants of hip hop. So now this beautiful music goes with this beat. And now the message is different. It's not about loving Black women anymore. It's about disrespecting them. It's about basically turning them into glorified prostitutes. It's about taking your woman. Now these singers that once put out beautiful music are not singers no more. We don't know what that is. It's another weapon against the Black community and the Black family that's been used to keep us exactly where we are. And that's how you got to look at it. So as much as I do like Chris Brown and like these other singers or what have you, it's why Ne-Yo is not around anymore, because Ne-Yo will put out soulful, good songs. And Chris Brown took off because he has different type of music that's talking about taking your girl and, making your girl do all kinds of stuff. All kinds of disrespectful music that is not about attacking the heart of the Black woman and making her feel loved and wanted. A lot of the music is geared towards more playing towards the, let's just say, the prostitution role that a lot of these Black women play in today. A lot of these Instagram girls and this style that Black women have today that is just straight up prostitution. It's glorified prostitution. And the music is reflecting that if you want this money, this is what you got to do. I'm a baller over here. I got this kind of money. If this is what you want, you got to be with this guy. Leave this broke guy alone. It's all about aiding and catering towards women who have that kind of ideology or that kind of thought process or what have you, that you must be this type of baller in order for me to be in your life. In order for me to be your friend, to go on a date with you, you must have this. And now that once music that was love and talking about soulful, beautiful things and the Black family and Black relationship has changed into a transaction. Glorified prostitution. I got money. I want you. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to fly you out. I'm going to take you from your man. So on and so forth. It's just crazy. And people look at this and it's just entertainment. And that's why I say we have found entertainment in our own destruction. We're not putting this shit together. I should not have to say this. I'm pretty sure you guys understand this already. But how come the people that's in power or the people who can make these decisions don't want to see it or harp on it? Everything else we talk about when they on the news or all over social media, talk about Black on Black crime, talking about YNs. How are you talking about YNs when you're not going to talk about what's activating these YNs? Because this behavior has to stem from somewhere. It has to come from somewhere. It has to start somewhere. So that's what they need to address. Where did this behavior come from? And they want America to believe, white America to believe, that we're just born this way. We're just innately evil, and that we raise our kids to be disrespectful, evil little bastards, right? And it's not the case. But it's a part of this whole control system that we've been seeing for a long time, to where we see what the youth is doing and how they're perpetuated. And this is why when you see these videos of Black people doing shit, you look at the comments, it says, the usual suspects, right? Black people doing what they know us to be known for, being thugs, being just evil people, how they want us to be portrayed, or how we look to them, us being who we are as far as the stereotypes that's been put out there to perpetuate the, existence of Black people in the Black community is disgusting. And it's how they look at us as disgusting people. But it's not us. It can clearly be traced back to the music that is basically the root of Black culture, our society. It's the music. And it's how do we want to be portrayed? Now, there's this competitiveness in us that say, so what? I'm going to act the way I want to act, right? And again, this is chess. It's about being smart, right? So one thing I didn't agree with Dr. King, as far as, peaceful protesting or what have you, I understood it. I understood that he understood, or they understood, the power that these people had, and that we was outnumbered. They could wipe us out if we got into a war. And there's no point in black people being killed, because they would have gladly killed us had we, acted out. We didn't have the weapon capacity that they have. We didn't have the situation, the status in the police department, or military, to put up any type of real fight. So we was basically hostages and being, asking for more food, basically. We was never, still to this day, in a position of power to really do anything as far as on a military situation. Now, you have people, militant black folks out there that's looking at things and saying, because of our progression, that they believe we have some type of power or more power than we had before as far as militarily. It's never been far from the truth. They still hold all the cars and all the guns and the weapons and what have you, and a lot more. It's never been about that, though. It's been about strategy. It's been about chess and understanding that we are on the side of right. We have all the history. We have the culture. We have the knowledge. Everything is on our side, not to mention the fact that you have white folks and everybody else that's willing to follow us in that message of truth, of peace. And the people who are not are who we are fighting against, and the people who we need to basically change this image that we have in the minds of these people. And whether that's going to happen or not is up to us. And, how that begins is with this music, because to take something so beautiful, like the music we had in the 80s and 90s or what have you, and turn it into, what we see today in this craziness, this music that exists today, is part of the problem. Right? Until we can change that and touch people the way that we did back then, they're going to continue to see us as monsters. If you look at how much the music barrier changed the minds of people, white folks in America, right? Sammy Davis Jr. and, Ray Charles, and how the music was bringing people together, is we see that throughout history, how the music from these black artists brought a lot of people to the understanding that black people are just like them. We've seen it with our TV shows back in the day. A lot of white folks grew up on those black TV shows, and a lot of them liked it. And we've seen TV shows later copy a lot of these black shows. And we can look and see how we made our mark, not just on hip hop culture, but on culture, period, American culture. Nobody has put more into the culture of America than black people. We have this hold on America that we don't realize we have, but they're using that power that we have from that to keep us in this place and make us look like less than, to make us look like thugs and hooligans. And we're relinquishing that power, that hold we have, and giving it to these racist people who don't like us at all. Plain and simple. It's what we're doing. And it starts with taking back the music and taking back that message that really brought us together back in the day, and controlling that and understanding that this Trojan horse that is hip hop is the problem. And we can no longer look at it the way we've been looking at it. And we have to stop ignoring the message that has been putting out that keeps us in this perpetuation of being, less educated, horrible people, right? We need to change that message. So, when I talk about this stuff, I've been putting out these videos for years, and I try to hammer that message home to people who's willing to listen, to get you guys to understand that change begins with us. And I'm starting to see it, and I'm glad I'm seeing it now, that a lot of people are coming into that knowledge of that, this music is horrible. And it's not what we had in the 90s. At least we had Nas. We had rappers and we had groups that at least kicked some knowledge into their rhymes. Jadakiss and them, the wordplay was different. It was stuff that still made you thought, even though a lot of it was followed with vulgar, crazy gunplay or what have you. At least it was subliminal. It was knowledge based. It made sense. It was like dope, metaphorical. And it's something that we can look at and be like, damn, that's crazy, and make us think deeper. We had messages attached to a lot of this music back then that still had a sense of unity and pride to it that made you, uniquely believe or understand that it's black music, until that message was changed and it's corrupted into what it is today. And it's destroying us, right? So I think a lot of people understand this. Again, we find entertainment in this whole process. So it's one of the reasons why a lot of black folks don't want to let it go. But until we can let it go, until we can at least change it and own it, we're going to continue to see this problem. And, I see people, crying over these people getting shot and killed and all the videos that's out there right now. And you got young boys killing people on video. They don't care. In public, broad daylight, a lot of people watching, people getting shot. Ops. And they proud of it. Oh, slide on my ops. Look at all, if you guys seen all the videos that's out there of these black boys in court, lives just thrown away. Like when you kill somebody and you go out there and you take a person's life, it's a matter of time before they take yours or take yours by putting you in prison for the rest of it, right? It's just a matter of time. They so lost in the music and in its culture that they think they're untouchable because they have never seen it in their community or in their atmosphere where an authority figure came in and gave a fuck. Right? If you're out there running around and shooting people and doing all this craziness, and the authority figure that you see as parents or the adults in your neighborhood are with the shit, they're along with the music, they're along with all the bullshit. You selling them drugs, they selling you drugs, and there's no type of authority figure there to let you understand how the world really works. So you think this is all a game, and you're going to get away until you get booked for whatever crime that is. And then you spend the rest of your life in jail. And this is exactly what they want. It's too many YNs going to the grave or going to the cell for life. And that's it. And this is exactly what they want. The fact that the term YN is so big right now, and you got white people using it proudly, YN, these YNs, it's crazy. And it's just another chapter of the downfall of the black community that has been perpetuated by hip hop music. And here we are. So when is it going to change, right? So people, you guys continue to ask me about this stuff. My stance will never change on hip hop. I like the 90s stuff. I grew up with all that. It's not really no rapper I like right now. It's hard to not like Drake. Music is everywhere. But it's just stuff that I just can't really get into because I just cringe at a lot of this music these days. I can't really get into it. J. Cole is nice. Some of these guys make some okay songs, but at the end of the day, they are part of that system that I know is there to keep us exactly where we are. I don't care what song you like from these guys. That's their role. That's Cardi B's role. That's Nicki Minaj's role. That's all these rappers' role, is to keep us exactly where we are. And if you look at what some of these people are doing and how they live in their lives, how can you think that's good for black people to see? You know what I'm saying? The whole Offset Cardi situation with Diggs, it's crazy. That's so crazy and dysfunctional and just so weird for it to be out there so public and people to be looking at this as it being something good. Like, it's crazy. And it's blame on both sides. It's blame all around. That's their business, but at the end of the day, it's still a bad look for the black community and for us as a family to be married and have a family and have so much money and still not be happy. There's nothing else. And that's the message they want to put out. It don't matter how much money you got, he's still going to cheat. It don't matter how much money she got, she's still going to do what she want to do. Or he's going to cheat and look like the bad guy. She's going to, retaliate, and then she looks bad. But at the end of the day, it's destroying a black family, right? So you can look at it and say, hey, they had a baby, and maybe they're going to come together and be a family. How often does that happen? We're waiting for their downfall, literally, because we know what's going to happen. We know something's going to happen to make it bad. And that's just what we're seeing in our reality. Things happen. Now we had where black women were screaming marriage and horse and carriage and settling down and finding a husband. Now they don't even want to be married no more. They don't want the dream wedding. They don't want families. It's about getting the bag, finding a guy that got money and going on trips and taking pictures and posting for the gram. It's crazy right now. And shit, now with AI, you can do all that. It's not even real. So, we're just doomed right now, and we got to realize what this stuff is really about and where it came from, and how it's still being perpetuated in our music, and that we need to change it. So, it's a lot of artists that hit me up about music and the direction to go. You guys know I was in the industry, and I always tell them, man, you got to think about that and, what that leads to, and try to have a message that's beneficial. I think more than ever, black people are more open-minded to conscious music than ever before, and they're waiting for it. And we haven't had any real major promotion behind a super conscious, fully conscious artist, because a lot of people don't know how to even be that. So yeah, wanted to put this video out. Thank you guys who, been keeping up with everything. It's been busy. I've been hacked, and I talked about that. It's been tough trying to keep all that going. There's always something. It's just life. It's how it is. You got to roll with the punches and keep going. The people that fuck with you will always be there, and they'll always be there looking out for you and have your back no matter what happens. And I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys, again, man, investments is important, man. There's a lot of people that's messed up out there. I do things for a reason. I've been trying to help you guys out for years financially to get everything together. Personal economics was the first one. Everything I put out with the Shopify course is still available. Everything is out there to make sure you guys make good investment decisions. You're not going to be spiritually free if you're not financially free. It's the way this world was set up, right? Unless you get out of here. Don't live in a society. Don't live in a society that's set up this way, right? And as long as you're here, that's what you're going to have the money, plain and simple. It's important for you to understand that, and that, your actions that you're taking is really going to take you away from that and put you in a situation where you're dependent on a job that's been put in place to make you a slave all over again. And that's what some of you guys are going to slave away, and won't be able to afford anything by the time you old enough to retire. It's fucking sad. I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to be free. Spiritually free, financially free. That's the only way to be, right? So yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch. Scholar Society members, everybody who's going to Egypt, make sure you guys take care of those payments. Email has been sent out. First payment was due yesterday. And make sure you guys take care of it. Shoot me emails if you have any issues. The reserving the trip is still available. You guys know where the links are. Joining society is still available. Make sure you guys get in, especially if you're thinking about investing in the future or want to be a part of something that's really dope. Make sure you guys get in. Eventually, we're going to have our society members vote. People win. So, and when we get to that point where we're at that capacity, people will get voted in. I talked about this before, but we have not gotten to that point because I'm real selective about who gets in. And, some people are not able to keep up with the group for whatever reason. But we have meetings. We do a lot. So make sure you join in if you're with it. And it's definitely worth the $18 a month when you think about it, because there's videos that those guys are going to get that you guys will not get. So think about that. We do a lot. But thanks for taking the time to watch. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.